Hey everyone, here are your daily news summaries for today. Vladimir Putin announced a 36-hour ceasefire in Ukraine to allow soldiers and civilians to celebrate Orthodox Christmas, but less than 2 hours later, the Russian army broke it. The temporary truce was met with skepticism from Ukraine, which rejected Putin's call to also pause hostilities and called it a cover to halt recent successful Ukrainian advances in the Donbas and give Russian soldiers respite. Putin's aim in announcing the ceasefire is to manipulate a situation where Ukraine is the only actor engaged in active fire, allowing him to perpetuate the Kremlin narrative of Ukraine as the aggressor and Russia as the defender of Orthodox values. The Kremlin is trying to suggest that Ukraine, rather than Russia, is the aggressor in this conflict and is unwilling to agree to a ceasefire. 6 journalists in South Sudan have been detained by the National Security Service over the release of footage showing the country's president apparently urinating on himself during an official event. The Committee to Protect Journalists, CPJ, said the journalists, all from the state-run South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation, were detained on suspicion of an unauthorized release of the footage, which prompted questions over President Salva Kiir's health and fitness to govern. Muthaki Mumo, CPJ's Sub-Saharan Africa representative, said the arrests matched a pattern of security personnel resorting to arbitrary detention whenever officials deem coverage unfavorable. A SIM card capable of transmitting location data was discovered in a UK government car in a sweep that also uncovered disturbing things. According to a serving security source, the geolocating device had been placed into the vehicle by its manufacturer, which had imported a sealed part from a supplier in China. The sweep was carried out amid growing fears that Chinese and Russian intelligence services were targeting British ministers. The discovery of the device is believed by intelligence sources to be indicative of China's broad approach to eavesdropping on the West rather than a specific targeting of ministers' vehicles. Norway became Germany's largest natural gas supplier in 2022, overtaking Russia, according to the German Federal Network Agency, Bundesnetzagentur. Norway provided 33% of the gas Germany imported last year, while Russia's share fell to 22%. Russia reduced gas supply via the Nord Stream pipeline to Germany in June before shutting it down in early September, citing sanctions as the reason for being unable to repair gas turbines for the pumping stations. The lack of gas deliveries was partly compensated for by additional imports, including from Norway, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Germany also saw a drop in natural gas consumption in 2022, due in part to household and industrial production curtailments due to high gas prices. Prince Harry has reportedly written in his new memoir, Spare, that he killed 25 Taliban fighters during his second tour of Afghanistan as a British Army officer. This marks the first time Harry, the Duke of Sussex, has discussed the number of people he says he personally killed during his military service. Harry, who served as an army officer for 10 years, including 2 tours of Afghanistan, reportedly writes in the memoir that he thought of the Taliban fighters as chess pieces at the time. His comments have been met with criticism from senior Taliban officials and some former members of the British military. That's today's quick news update. See you again tomorrow.